Jai.
Hare Krishna. So thank everyone for coming. It's so nice to see such a big increase because last time we were like 5 people. So I think we increased by 300–400%. So let us also do that next time. So tonight we have Amita Krishna Prabhu who will give a very nice lecture on the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada based on some poems. So we all look very much forward to that. So Amita Krishna Prabhu, the word is yours. Oh, and afterward we will have some light prasadam, and this class goes from 6:30 to 8. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for all coming. Thank you for your association. By your mercy, we can talk a little bit serious topics about Prabhupada and enter more deeper in the understanding, because it's all about our relationship with pure devotee. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjali Captains Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjali Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunjali All glories to the Son.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Son.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. So we continue the lecture of Prabhupada on his own poem in Hyderabad in 1976, December 10th, on the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And while going to his lecture, we will try to understand what is the relationship between Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. So we continue, and before we continue the lecture, we will read the poem again together. 8 stanzas on His Divine Grace, 108 C.C. Mark Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Adore, adore ye all the happy day, blessed than heaven and sweeter than May, when he appeared at Puri, the holy place, my Lord and Master, His Divine Grace. Oh, my Master, the evangelic angel, give us thy light, lit up thy candle. Struggle for existence, the human race, the only hope, your divine grace. Misled we are, all going astray. Save us, Lord, our fervent pray. Wander thy ways, to turn our face, adore thy feet, your divine grace. Forgotten Krishna, we fallen souls, pain most heavy, the illusion stole. Darkness around, all distress. The only hope, your divine grace. Message of service, thou hast brought a meaningful life as Chaitanya wrought. Unknown to all, it is full of grace. That's your gift, your divine grace. Absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity, thou hast removed. This gives us a life, anew and fresh, worshipping thy feet, your divine grace. Had you not come, who had told the message of Krishna, forceful and bold, that you are right, you have the mace, save me, the farmer, your divine grace. The line of service as drawn by you, it's pleasing and healthy as morning dew, the oldest of all, but in a new dress. Miracle done, your divine grace. Abhay Charan Das Adhikari. So that is a poem. It was first published in the Harmonist in 1935. And Prabhupada published again in his own Back to God magazine in 1952. Then it was lost, and Guru Das, he found it back in London somewhere, in a library which had a copy of the Harmonist. So he was very proudly saying, Prabhupada, my disciple has found back my lost poem. So, but almost a little bit louder? Yes. I'm always stunned through these poems. This is this beautiful book published quite recently, beautiful paintings with all most of the poems of Prabhupada, and many were not so well known. So over the time we will go through these poems and we learn many things. But the main thing is you can catch the point of Prabhupada's sweet relationship. There is some very strong sweetness in the way he writes, and it's total submission and humble surrender to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Actually, this, if you read the book Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Bhaiva, written by Bhakti Vikas Maharaj, you get a much more crystal clear understanding about why Prabhupada did things as he did. It's completely just the brain and the mood of Bhaktisiddhanta set in his mind. And he had a strong desire, an extreme strong desire, a burning desire to bring this Krishna consciousness to the West. Because in the history of the West we have never seen the transcendental dimension of the relationship with God. I do a lot of research on the history of Christianity. I'm born Christian, also Catholic, and I'm stunningly ashamed that they have not yet come to the point, the difference in body and soul, and they could not even meet it. It's not even discussed that we should give it up. So how much progress they have made in 2000? I feel very ashamed. And so that means the transcendental aspect was never really opened up in the West. So I spent 20 years in India and I learned things I never knew before. So closed down. Even we talk so much about God and religion in the West, but it is all from the head, not from the inside. We are so tight and closed down. This understanding with God. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj understood this very well. So he had that burning desire to bring it to the West. It's amazing how patient the acharyas can be, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when we see them together, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and then Prabhupada, the task of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava brilliancy, the topmost philosophy, the topmost lifestyle, the real complete philosophy about your relationship with God was completely polluted by Sahaja Yoga Bhakti, very cheap way of trying to follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, keeping all the bad habits and just chanting Hare Krishna. And Apasampradayas, they had completely spoiled the powerful Gaudiya Vaishnavism. It's mind-boggling how powerful Kali can be. You know? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati says Kali has entered the Sankirtan movement. And Kali Maharaj's business is to kill everybody. You know? And whoever follows him, he rewards them with a lot of fame and a lot of money. That's what we see. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had so much work to just revive the original Siddhanta, the original teachings. He had written his whole life, tens of books. So he was busy with book writing. And then some established organizations to let it go. But actually there was a need to establish many centers in India first, with a pure Siddhanta again, with a pure lifestyle. So that's why he prayed to Krishna, bring me a son who can take up my message. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was born, and it is nicely described in the Sri Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava. The relationship with Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was not a relationship of father and son, although they were father and son, a very affectionate father and a very first-class son. But they never had that type of relationship. They always had a relationship as guru and disciple. And it's wonderful to read about that, how they dealt with each other. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj considered two gurus. He says, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gorkishore Bhattacharya. So these are my two eyes. And actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur considered Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati a pure devotee and a servant of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. And serving him by giving him the mission. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj considered Bhaktivinoda Thakur his guru. So it's a very special relationship. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he strengthened the works of Bhaktivinoda Thakur by starting a lot of magazines and taking out the points and pinning specific topics and driving it down into the intellectual sphere of the society. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's aim was mainly the brains of society. If you can influence the brains, you can vastly influence the whole society. That time in Calcutta. Prabhupada, he worked on two levels. He worked on the masses and on the brains. It's mind-boggling how their strategies are. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati established 64 branches in India, but he had never time to go outside of India, although he had a very burning desire. So he also prayed, send me somebody who can do the job. And then as soon as Prabhupada came, he understood, this man will do everything. What is his qualification? We read that in the poem also. In 1933, I was officially initiated. That was after 12 years. And my only qualification was when I was introduced to my Guru Maharaj for initiation. So Guru Maharaj immediately said, yes, I shall initiate this boy. He is very nice. Why is very nice? He hears me very patiently. He does not go away. That was my qualification. The high standard of philosophy which he was speaking at that time, practically I could not follow what he was speaking, but still I liked to hear him. That was my hobby. I was asking when Guru Maharaj will speak. Prabhupada said I was a good listener. The quality of listening, to take it in the heart. Of course we know that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's writing is extremely intellectual, very tough to read. And in the beginning Prabhupada could not understand. But then as he kept surrendering, he understood everything. And one was unflinching faith in Guru Krsna. All the purpose of the Shastra becomes revealed from within. Unflinching faith. No shaky faith. Completely as everything is said. Not some things which my Guru says, I like to repeat. But some things I don't want to talk about. This is not good disciple. As he speaks, you repeat. No matter how the public will react. You talk the truth straight. And that's what Prabhupada did. So then you could understand. Yeah. A small point maybe on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He says, my language, because some of the professors in Calcutta, they came to his discourses because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati used to be head dean of the university before, then he gave it up. So then he had his magazine, was very prominent amongst the intellectuals of Calcutta. So then many intellectuals came to hear his discourses. But then he was talking such a complicated English. So some professors say, Maharaj, why don't keep a dictionary next to us that we can understand what you're talking here? Then you know what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said? He said, my language is extremely... first he says, you talk in Bengali or English. My language is not from this world. It is neither Bengali or English. It is a language from the spiritual world. Then he says...
I think because he will also change between the languages. He will speak Hindi and then Bengali and then English and maybe the other dialects.
Yeah, like and so long sentences you don't know where it begins and you don't know where it ends. 12, 15 lines, and you try to follow, and halfway you're losing the first track. You have to read 20 times again and again before you catch the whole concept of the sentence. I was thinking about why it's so difficult. But then something came in my mind that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's writing is so tied against the Mayavadi philosophy, which is all over India and Hinduism and in the West also. And the modern scientists are either, I don't know, teachers or students of Mayavadi. They can confuse everybody in the brain like mad. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati didn't want to give any chance on his writings to play with the personalistic philosophy of Krishna consciousness. So if you read, it's impossible to put something Mayavad within the words of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. That's why he makes long strings with so many points that you cannot find somewhere to speculate in. Like love, we're all spirit, like nowadays the New Age talking, like that. So confusing. It sounds sweet, but there is poison inside. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, because of extreme purity, he didn't want to give any single chance to the Mayavadis to play. So he says to the professors also, my language might be extremely hard in the first sight, but you listen carefully, it's extremely soft language. So that means hard in the beginning for the conditioned soul who comes out of the material world with his own external concepts. And then he gets all this confrontation, directly beating down all the illusion. So that is hard. But why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was doing this? Out of his softness, compassion for the conditioned soul, out of his love for Radha and Krishna, all these conditioned souls, confused, illusioned souls, should come in touch with Krishna, and I go to the utter extent to break down their illusion. And that's quite heavy. And like Prabhupada says, my Guru Maharaj used the chopping technique. And those of his disciples who criticized this or didn't follow that, they all fell down. But as for me, I followed this chopping technique and I became very successful. I call so many scientists rascal. Especially the scientists. So that we covered last time, that impersonal calamity I have removed. The Absolute is sentient. The Absolute is personal. Everything is extremely personal, and you have proven that. And all this impersonal, ghosty philosophy, it makes you a ghost, a machine. You have to strike. So we were discussing last time that Prabhupada was especially giving us the task to destroy the Darwin theory. Not just speaking varieties of the Darwin theory, that's all also playing with us. Simply destroy it, he said, because this is the secret weapon of the materialist to keep Krishna away.